Asari Dokubo, a former Niger Delta militant leader, has issued a direct warning to the southeastern region of Nigeria, threatening to invade if his demands are not met. He was recently appointed as the leader of Muslims in the South-South and Southeast regions, a decision that initially appeared peaceful but has since sparked controversy. A post from a close associate stated that Asari Dokubo's role includes increasing conversions, establishing Sharia courts, and building mosques, which angered many Southeasterners. Southeastern leaders firmly opposed the introduction of Sharia law, emphasizing that their region follows a single national constitution. In reaction to the opposition, Asari Dokubo claimed he had the manpower and resources to invade the southeast and enforce Islamic institutions there. There are unverified reports that Asari Dokubo has already established a militia in Imo State, raising concerns about potential violence. Many question how a former militant, known for opposing the rule of law, was appointed to a religious leadership position. The controversy comes amid existing struggles in southwestern Nigeria, where the governor of Oyo State recently opposed the operation of Sharia courts. Recent swift arrests in Edo State contrast with the lack of action against crimes involving armed herders in the South-South and Southeast. In recent days, Nigeria has been shaken by news that former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo has issued a bold warning to the southeastern region of the country. This development has captured national attention because it touches on deep-seated tensions regarding regional autonomy, religious identity, and the role of traditional institutions within the framework of the Nigerian state. I found it important to share a detailed narrative that explains the circumstances surrounding this news, the background of the key figures involved, and the potential implications for national unity and security. The story begins with Asari Dokubo, who once played a notorious role in the Niger Delta as a militant leader. His past, marked by a willingness to challenge the existing order, suddenly takes on a new dimension with his recent appointment as the leader of Muslims in both the South-South and Southeastern regions of Nigeria. Initially, this appointment appeared to be a peaceful and possibly unifying gesture by religious leaders from across the country. However, the appointment quickly escalated into controversy due to the conditions attached to his new role. According to reports and a close associate's post, Asari Dokubo is expected to drive a transformation in the religious landscape of the region. His responsibilities, as outlined by his supporters, include increasing conversions to Islam, establishing Sharia courts, and overseeing the construction of new mosques. These actions have raised alarm bells among the residents of the southeastern region of Nigeria, where leaders and community members maintain that their region should adhere strictly to the national constitution. Many southeastern Nigerians see the introduction of Islamic legal institutions as a direct challenge to their cultural and legal traditions. The reaction in the southeastern region was swift and marked by firm opposition. Local leaders and citizens expressed their anger, emphasizing that their region operates under a single national constitution, a principle they are determined to protect. Their stance is grounded in a desire to maintain a secular legal system that reflects the diverse cultural and religious identities of the region's inhabitants. They argued that introducing Sharia courts would not only undermine their constitutional rights, but could also lead to social instability and conflict. In response to this opposition, Asari Dokubo issued a stark threat. He claimed that if the southeastern people do not allow him to implement Islamic institutions, he possesses both the manpower and resources to invade the region. This statement did not come from thin air. It builds on his historical reputation as a militant figure who has previously flouted the rule of law. His challenge is not just a political maneuver, but a deeply contentious call to arms that carries significant implications for inter-regional relations in Nigeria. Adding to the intensity of the situation are unverified reports that Asari Dokubo may have already established a militia in Imo State. Although these reports have not been fully confirmed by independent sources, they contribute to the overall climate of uncertainty and fear. The idea that a former militant leader is mobilizing armed groups to potentially enforce a religious agenda is deeply troubling, particularly in a nation that has struggled with internal conflicts and regional divisions for decades. What makes this issue even more complex is the fact that Asari Dokubo's appointment as a religious leader itself has raised many eyebrows. Critics question how someone with a history of militancy and a reputation for operating outside the bounds of the law could be entrusted with a leadership role that involves overseeing religious institutions in a diverse society. Many people wonder about the selection process and the broader implications of legitimizing a figure who has previously been associated with violence and lawlessness. This controversy is compounded by ongoing struggles in other parts of Nigeria, where state governors have opposed the operation of Sharia courts. For instance, recent actions by the governor of Oyo State, who made headlines by rejecting the operation of such courts, reflect a broader national debate about the coexistence of different legal and cultural systems within Nigeria. The controversy surrounding Asari Dokubo's appointment and his subsequent threat to invade the southeastern region is not an isolated incident. It is part of a larger narrative that includes multiple instances of tension between traditional and modern forms of governance in Nigeria. In Edo State, for example, there have been recent swift arrests related to violent incidents, contrasting sharply with the apparent inaction in other regions where armed herders and bandits have caused significant insecurity. This inconsistency in law enforcement has led many to question the capacity and impartiality of the nation's security apparatus. Throughout this turbulent period, voices from both sides of the debate have expressed their concerns. On one hand, supporters of Asari Dokubo argue that his appointment could lead to the revitalization of Islamic institutions in regions where many believe that religious values have been neglected. They contend that his background in militancy, rather than being a liability, might be seen as an asset in enforcing discipline and order in areas that have long been marginalized. On the other hand, critics and regional leaders in the southeastern part of Nigeria view his appointment as an imposition of external religious practices on a region that prides itself on its commitment to a unified national identity under the Nigerian constitution. The rhetoric used by Asari Dokubo, including his promise to deploy his forces to enforce Islamic practices, strikes a disconcerting chord in a country that has historically navigated complex inter-ethnic and inter-religious relationships. His threat, which directly mentions his willingness to deal with the Igbo people, has further fueled fears of an impending conflict. This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.